you for joining us.
Thank you, Melissa. Let me just go ahead and try to big screen here. All right, just for confirmation, can you see my presentation there?
Yes, yes, we
Okay,
can.
perfect. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, welcome everybody. Appreciate everybody here getting this information that we need, to move forward with your academics. Here today, I'm going to go ahead and present to you some information on financial aid, an overview of the types of financial aid, applying for financial aid, and just a little bit of budget. So just a little bit of everything that we need to know moving forward with financial aid. If you didn't know, in the state of Texas, UTEP is a top tier university that is affordable. So something we want to share that with all our families to just know when deciding or picking that school. UTEP is definitely an affordable school to take advantage of. Here we have information comparing the annual cost of UTEP with other universities in the state of Texas. So if you were to compare UTEP as an annual cost with Texas A&M, you can see that it is half the price just to come here at UTEP. So definitely something to take advantage when you're checking out the costs for other schools. What's going to be more beneficial for the families and the students, but again, the families who are going to be paying for these costs at the universities. Here at UTEP, we awarded more than $221 million in financial aid to our students. That's more than 6 out of 10 UTEP graduate students that received some form of financial aid to receive help for college. The annual average financial aid that a student is awarded for the year is about $12,221. That award package includes federal aid, state aid, institutional aid, and it does vary based on the information that's provided on the FAFSA application, but average total, that is what our students are looking at with financial aid. Also, just in 2018-19, you can see there, as I showed in the screen before, the tuition costs, annual tuition or costs for at UTEP was about $9,000. So with the financial aid that's coming in for students, it's enough to pay for their cost here and less out of pocket for students. Here at UTEP, we offer what's called the Pay Dirt Promise Grant. The Pay Dirt Promise Grant is available for students in which their families' adjusted gross income is less than $50,000. This grant will help pay or cover the tuition mandatory fees at UTEP. There's no separate application to submit for the Pay Dirt Promise Grant. All we ask is that you submit your FAFSA application before our priority deadline, which is January 15th, to be considered for the Pay Dirt Promise Grant. Another cool thing about the Pay Dirt Promise Grant, if eligible, it is renewable for the upcoming years, as long as you have a GPA of 2.0. You complete 24 credits in the academic year, and you maintain satisfactory academic progress. Also, just keep in mind, to be eligible for the Pay Dirt Promise Grant, you must be pursuing, or the student must be pursuing, their first bachelor degree and a Texas resident. And again, you can find more on the Pay Dirt Promise on our financial aid website, and it has all the information about that too. Also at UTEP, another type of form of financial aid is scholarships. I know Martha will be going over that in more detail, but just wanted to bring that to your attention that at UTEP, we do offer a range of scholarships for incoming students, prospective students, even current continuing students. So definitely any questions you have, reach out to our scholarship team. They can help guide you on what's best, what scholarships are out there to apply, tips and stuff for all that good stuff on applying for scholarships. And again, you can visit our website too at Scholarship Office for more information. All right, and down to the fun part, what is financial aid? So financial aid is money that helps students pay for college and their educational expenses. Financial aid can include forms of like federal aid, state aid, institutional or school aid, and then private sources as well. The types of financial aid available, there's about just 3 kinds when you're applying or submitting the FAFSA application. And the first one, which is the best one, is gift aid, or what we call free money. That's aid that doesn't have to be paid back. That can include federal grants, which is like the Pell Grant, or the FSCOG, Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. It's a long name. But yeah, through the FAFSA application, these are 2 of the exclusive grants that you could be eligible for and don't have to be paid back. Then there's also money that you earn, and that's through our federal work study program. Students work part-time, so as a student employee on campus, the program is for students who demonstrate financial need from their FAFSA application. And it's not dispersed like a grant or a loan or scholarship. This is given to the student as a paycheck, so they can use these funds to help pay for other educational or personal costs that they have. And the cool thing about the federal work study program is that they will be a student employee here at UTEP. So they, like I said, they only work part-time, and we work with their schedules because our priority is their educational goals. So we want to make sure that they're on track. They're working on what they need to get done, whether it's studying for a final or getting that paperwork done. We work with them the best that we can to help them stay motivated and finish their academic goals. And then the last one is the money that you pay back, which is federal student loans that also have a low interest rate that come through the FAFSA application. And then applying for financial aid, that is done in easy, quick through the free application for federal student aid, which is known as the FAFSA application. The FAFSA is available online through fafsa.gov or by downloading the mobile app of My Student Aid. Definitely, like I said, it is quick and easy. You can go back and forth through each online or mobile app. In the past, I worked with students who are, very technology savvy with their phones. So they'll just go on their phones, get it done. It's easier for them. And if they come across something that they can't answer or kind of get stuck because they're busy, something came up, they can always just pick up where they left off online, log it into fafsa.gov because you just saved where you left off. So it's very easy to interchange between the two, not too hard when going through each of those different areas of filling out the FAFSA. Who can complete the FAFSA? It is available for students who are US citizens and permanent residents with a Social Security. Foreign students, non-residents of Texas not just in Texas, but non-citizens and foreign students will not be able to qualify or complete the FAFSA application, but they would have an opportunity to complete the TASFA application, which is available on our website. It is a paper application that they can download and fill out the information on there and submit what needs to be, or submit the documents requested for that TASFA application. But as far as for FAFSA, again, US citizens and permanent residents with Social Security number, and it's available October 1st every year for the upcoming year. So coming up this October 1st, the 22-23 FAFSA will be available. So definitely you want to get on that once it's available. And the good thing about that is the income information that's requested on the FAFSA application is requesting from 2 years ago. So at this point, most families should have already filed their taxes from 2 years ago. So it shouldn't be a problem filling out the upcoming FAFSA when it's requesting that income information. Also, did you know that submitting the FAFSA also helps determine the student's eligibility for scholarships and student loans? So if you feel that you don't have to fill one out because you don't qualify for federal aid, it's always best, and we always highly encourage to complete the FAFSA. You just never know what could be out there that you could be eligible for. And if you're applying for a scholarship and they require a FAFSA on file, it could be a different type of need than what we're looking for other need-based aid like the Pell Grant or SUG grant. So don't hesitate, fill it out. Like we said, it's simple, it's easy. You could do it online or through the mobile app. And again, our advisors are here available at UTEP to help you with any questions with that process. All right, getting started with the FAFSA. It's just a 3-step process. The first part is creating a Fafsa ID or Federal Student Aid ID. The student will create their username and password. It will count as their electronic signature when completing the FAFSA. If a parent's information is required on the student's FAFSA, a parent will have to create their own FSA ID as well. And it's just one parent that will have to create that FSA ID. So not both parents will not have to do that. So just one parent will need to sign that FAFSA application. So that's just something that would be the first part of getting started. Second part is getting your documents ready. Again, like I mentioned before, when completing the FAFSA, it will ask for some income financial information. For this 21-22 FAFSA, it will be asking or requesting 2019 financial information. So you want to make sure you have those taxes financial forms available with you. And like I said, the FAFSA is easy completing it. It gives you a breakdown, pretty much literally tells you where to find the amount, what line to find it on your tax forms. If you're still unsure what it's asking for, because there may be some that may not reference a line on your tax form, there is a cool little question mark picture label on the questions on the FAFSA. If you hover over that or you click on that, it'll give you more information as to why they're requesting the information, where you can find it, what information they're asking for. So definitely take advantage of those resources available on the FAFSA application to make it easier to fill that out. And then completing the FAFSA. Always make sure, again, you sign the FAFSA with that FSA ID that student and parent created. Here at UTEP, or in the state of Texas, we do have a priority deadline of January 15th. So for this 21-22, yes, it has passed, but for those of you inquiring about next year's upcoming aid year, so the 22-23, our deadline will be January 15th. And again, like I said, October 1st, we'll have that FAFSA available. So immediately after October 1st, get on that, have your 2020 taxes available, and get that FAFSA sent out to us before January 15th. And again, like I know I keep saying, it's an easy and quick process, but we don't expect you to hold the burden of filling this out, knowing where to go, knowing all the answers. That's what we're here for. We're the experts. So at any time that you have questions, you just want to go over some information, just clarification, anything that's on your mind, reach out to us. That's what we're there for. We are available by phone, by email. Even right now, we're available by virtual appointment. And you can also follow us on social media at Instagram and Facebook. We put all sorts of updates on there, that we have some sessions as well. So definitely you can always just follow us, keep up with what's going on with us. And that's about it. I guess if you want me to go ahead and take questions now.
Yeah, there was one that was on the chat, which is, if UTEP was not one of the schools our graduate listed in his initial FAFSA, can we resubmit for UTEP?
Yes, so you'll want to go back onto the FAFSA and add our school code on there. I believe it's right here, 003661. So yes, you want to go back onto the FAFSA and add UTEP on there. You can search by the school code as well. And then you'll resubmit it and also sign it again with your FSA ID electronic signature.
Awesome, thank you. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to unmute or add in the chat. And while we wait for any of those questions, thank you so much, Lisa. We'll see if anyone asks. And then Martha, if you would like, we'll next have scholarship. So thank you, Lisa. And we'll just, while Martha gets ready, if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, I'll stay in the chat if there's any other questions.
Awesome, thank you so much. Now we'll pass it on to Martha for the Office of Scholarships.
Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Martha. I'm with the Office of Scholarships. I have been at that position for 5 years now. And best thing about my job is I love working with students. And so I want to thank you guys, the Parents Association, for asking us to go ahead and provide this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now, of course, we are all remote. We have been told that, June 1st, we will go ahead and be open to the public. And so, but at this time we are remote. So if you have questions, you have our website here. Any questions in particular, you're more than welcome to send them to scholar@utep.edu, as well as call our number 747-5204. So these are different scholarships that we provide to the students. We have incoming freshmen, external scholarships, international student scholarships. And we also provide you with writing essays and that type of techniques so you can be more successful at getting a scholarship. We've also provided you with some of the web addresses that you can go ahead and get more information from. FastWeb, financialaid.org. You can see those right there. And then we also promote the departmental scholarships. Each scholarship has grants or scholarships available to them. A study abroad, if a student wants to go ahead and take courses internationally. Honors program, College of Education. With the music and the art scholarships, you will have to contact the department because for instance, the music, you would have to audition, and then the art, you would need to go ahead and provide your portfolio. So you need to really contact them. Okay, so these are the different levels that we have for our incoming freshmen. We have decided to modify the incoming freshman criteria. And because we changed it, the student no longer needs to provide the test scores, their ACT or SAT scores. We have done this because of the pandemic, and so because students were not able to go and take the class in person, we have gone ahead and made those modifications. We have not been told whether that's going to change, whether they'll go back to the test scores. So if you want more updated information, go ahead and give us a call at that number. So the students would be considered for the upcoming fall semester, and they do have 2 deadlines that they need to go ahead and submit, which would be November 1st and March 1st. So these are the 4 levels of scholarships. The presidential scholarship is $8,000 a year, which would be a total of $32,000 for 4 years. The student needs to be ranked number 1 at the end of their junior year in a public high school within the Region 19 area. Private or charter schools with 5 or more years of graduating seniors are also considered, and only 1 student will be awarded with this scholarship per school. The next one is $5,000 per year. Students need to have an overall GPA of a 3.75. They need to be ranked top 3 in their graduating class, and then again, they need to provide that essay. The next one is $3,000. The overall GPA is a 3.5. The ranking is the top 5%, and again, the essay. And the last one is, the last one is the $1,000 scholarship per year. That is overall high school GPA of 3.25. They need to be top 10% other graduating class, and the essay is also part of it. I would want to also remind students that you need to make sure that you're admitted, that UTEP has everything, the ranking, the GPA, your transcript, and that essay all at the same time when you are applying for the scholarship. Okay. So what we have is ScholarMine. This is our database that we use. It's AwardSpring is the database name. Students can go ahead and apply onto the AwardSpring website. Let me click here so you can see it. Hopefully it'll open it up. So this is what it looks like. Let me get out of this part. So when the student opens up their, clicks on the ScholarMine within the scholarship webpage, they're going to go ahead and make sure that they have their UTEP email address and their password. Once they do that, then they can go ahead and click that, and then they are able to go ahead and create a profile within that database. So pretty much it's using your UTEP credentials. You will go ahead, if you're having issues, please contact the help desk, or you can contact one of us to go ahead and see how we can help you. So the application within itself, it's asking for demographic information. And the reason why we ask the students to go ahead and complete that as well is for us to match a student with a donor. The essay is 500 words, and we ask to put it on a Word document, and then you can go ahead and cut and paste into the actual portal. If you have questions, I would go ahead and email me or email one of the scholarship team just to see if you're on the right track with filling out that application. And then once you're done, you just click submit, and that's it. Just remember that you do need to make sure that all the information is with the admissions office before the deadlines of November 1st and March 1st. Okay. So we also promote external scholarships. So external scholarships are pretty much, they're donors that are not donating directly to the university. They are actually going ahead and providing those funds to the student. So for instance, if you work at Walmart, or if you work out for any companies that provide that type of funding for their employees or for their employees' children. Am I saying that right? Yeah. So you can go ahead, that would be considered an external scholarship. And so we have a bulletin that we go ahead and provide to the students. It's updated every 2 months. And what we do is we go ahead and make sure that those are legitimate scholarship opportunities. We go ahead and verify that information and then go ahead and post it, especially right now with a lot of the scams that are going on. We try to help the student out and provide that. One less thing for them to do is just having a list of scholarships that they may be eligible for. Just a reminder too that the deadlines on those on that bulletin they have different deadlines. So just make sure you pay attention to what those deadlines are. Okay, so you can find the listing of that bulletin in our website. And let me see if I can show it to you as well. Okay, so this is I'm not sure if you guys can see the screen.
Yes, you have your internet open.
Okay, all right, great. So this is our website. Pretty much, it's got the ScholarMine. If you want to apply to the UTEP, you would go ahead and apply to the Apply Texas. And here is where you see the External Scholarship Opportunities Bulletin. This one's for May, June. And pretty much what you do is, if you're interested in a certain scholarship, we go ahead and provided the link here. So it would take you directly to that application for that company or that organization. So it's we try to do as much of the work for you with regard to just you being able to click and get straight to, applying for that scholarship. Okie doke, let's see. Again, this is our information. I would also provide you, or I would also go ahead and let you know that it's really important for you to start networking once you get to UTEP. Networking with the professors, trying to check out the departments and what your department offers. I know that, for instance, students that are in science or engineering, some of even education students, there's programs where they're doing research, and sometimes these programs have funds that they can go ahead and try to award students. So I would just make sure that you're in the know with the department that you're looking to study in. This is my information with regard to my email, my direct line at work. Again, we're not there. We'll be there June 1st, but you can go ahead and leave a message at that number, and then I can go ahead and give you a call back. That's really all for now. If anybody has questions, then I'm more than happy to go ahead and answer.
Definitely. Someone in the chat actually was interested if it was possible for you to speak a little bit more on merit scholarships for current students, if there's any of that, or where they can find that, because I know there's different ones, but.
Okay. Well, the merit scholarships, we have donors that go ahead and provide funding to the university, and which is why I wanted to also make sure that you understand that some departments have the authority to go ahead and award students. Donors have chosen that department to go ahead and say, okay, we're going to give this money, but we want the department to select the students for that. And those are, most of the scholarships that we have are merit that the donors have provided to UTEP. You can go into the ScholarMine portal and go ahead and complete that. Now, we ask that you do be patient, because there's times when we have to wait until after census day to see how much funding we have left so we can award new students. But the best thing is to just keep following up with us, and if we are able to, then we will go ahead and award the students that meet the criteria that the donor is providing. Okay.
Great. Yes, no, definitely. Thank you so much. So ScholarMine is a good place to start with that. And from there, it's just a matter of checking base and seeing if there's something new there that can be provided.
Right.
Sounds good. Does anyone else have any questions in regard to the Office of Scholarships? Again, you can unmute or put it in the chat. Thank you so much, Martha, for presenting on behalf of the Office of Scholarships. And we'll now move on to our final office. And of course, if you have any questions, Martha will still stay on. And it's going to be the, we're gonna have, oh, I got tongue-tied. Our next presenter is the Director for the National and International Office of Fellowships and Awards, which is Dr. Melanie Meinzer, and she'll be next to present. So welcome.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here with everyone. Let me share my screen here. Okay, is that showing up, Melissa?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm Melanie, and I direct UTEP's sort of new, won't be new in about two weeks. It will be a year old in 2 weeks. Office of Student Fellowships and Awards. And this office was created, this initiative housed in student affairs. We work closely with academic affairs, but it was really an idea of President Wilson. She was a Rhodes Scholar, so she received a Fulbright scholarship to study at Oxford University in the UK. And so she knows firsthand how transformative experience that can be. And she said, you know, we have UTEP students who are applying for these awards, but we could have more. So we have students who win prestigious external fellowships and scholarships, but we have a lot more who could win them. So that's where my office comes in. And so we work with undergraduate and graduate students, but I will focus today mostly on undergraduate students. This is my contact information. If you'd like to get in touch after the presentation, you can send me an email at meinzer@utep.edu. But I also encourage you to look at our website, utep.edu/student-fellowships, to see a list of the awards that we focus on. So a couple of words first about what makes my office different. So what role do we fill versus financial aid and scholarships? And so listening to the presentations, if I'm frank, there are a couple areas of overlap. So I want to recognize those first. Martha talked about external scholarships. And so that has a slight overlap with what we do in that we will support students who are applying for external scholarships. If they want to get feedback on an essay, we're happy to help with that. But we primarily focus on a set of nationally known awards that are open to students in all fields. So I tell students there are many funding sources out there, and you should look for the ones that align most with your academic and career goals. But keep in mind that there are many funders who have a very specific idea of the type of candidate they want to fund. So I saw on the slide, a student who's working in maybe computer science or gaming. So I'd say to a student, yes, you should apply for that, but they should also keep in mind that there are awards open to students in all fields for which they will also be eligible and should apply. The next difference is that all of the awards that my office works with are externally funded. These are foundations. They are not donating to any one university, but rather students are competing in a national pool against all other students at other universities in the US and sometimes internationally. Another difference is all of them are merit-based, so they are not need-based. And I think the difference that most students notice right away is that there's a really long planning horizon for these. So as I'll get to in a moment, we work with students from the moment they enter UTEP, because that's when they should be looking at how to get the experiences that will make them competitive for these scholarships and fellowships later on in their career. That's one part of the long planning horizon. The other half is that a student will apply for an award. For example, as a senior, they might apply for a Fulbright grant to teach English overseas. They'll apply in the fall of their senior year to go abroad the fall of the year after they graduate. So there's often a year built in for most awards. That being said, there are some awards that have have shorter time application cycles, such as the Gilman Scholarship, which is for study abroad. So I'm trying to switch slides here, but it's taking its time. Okay, so let me tell you a bit about some of the programs that my office runs for incoming freshmen, sophomores. So if student transfers in as a sophomore, they can also join this program or apply to join this program. Basically, if you think we have students competing against students at all US universities, we want to give our students a competitive edge. So how do we do that? We start by getting a group of students together who are interested in applying for external scholarships and fellowships. They have academic excellence, so we have a GPA cutoff of 3.5, which tends to be in the ballpark of what many scholarships require. That being said, there are some fellowships that we work with that do not have any GPA requirement, so that's really important to note. So our undergraduate fellows are a group of 20 or so freshmen and sophomores, and we run 3 cohorts a year. They receive a stipend to give them some time to participate in our program activities. And they're part of a course on our online platform, Blackboard, where they get a step-by-step introduction to how do you apply for a fellowship? What is a personal statement? How do I write a compelling one that captures my unique story and voice? What types of opportunities are out there? What is the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship Program? And what can I do as a freshman or sophomore to start getting those research experiences in the lab that are going to be part of the proposal that I write for NSF funding for graduate school? So we get them started on this. Students also meet with UTEP students who have won these fellowships. So in 2 days, on Friday, we're having our undergraduate fellows meet with a student who won a Gilman Scholarship to study abroad and one of our NSF graduate research fellows who will receive $34,000 per year for 3 years of his PhD program. So very good awards. And I think what we want to do is show students, look, UTEP students are winning these awards, you can too, and we tell them how. So in this program, students produce a personal statement, which is, for most scholarships, is a reflection on who they are, what they want to do, and why they are in the right place to receive the scholarship as an investment in helping them reach their academic goal and then make a larger contribution. So a lot of these scholarships talk about leadership, service, maybe if it's an international scholarship, they're talking about building cultural connections between different countries, the US and say Argentina. And so we help students think about how do they frame their story and what contribution they want to make in the world through this typically 1 to 2 page essay, which is quite challenging to do. So we get them started on that. And we have a group of peer writing coaches who are upper level undergraduate students and master's students who have applied for these types of awards, and they coach students on their writing. And our hope and expectation, and what we've seen happen so far just in the first year of the program, is that alumni from this undergraduate fellows program go on to apply and win external fellowships. And so the student who's coming to talk to my current cohort of fellows on Friday was a member of the first cohort I ran in the spring, and she won a Gilman Scholarship to study abroad in Spain. So we're very pleased to see that, even in a short time frame, we're seeing students win these awards. So another step in this pipeline, so we're building a group of students that are qualified and prepared and understand the application process. When they get to be juniors, we have the Hawkins Scholarship. This is new this year, and this is the only award in my office that is funded by UTEP. It's $10,000 for 2 UTEP juniors in any major with a GPA of 3.7 or above who plan to go to graduate school. And so the program is modeled after the Rhodes Scholarship, which has a pretty intense interview and selection process. So we mimic that on a campus level so that by the time students become seniors, they're ready to apply for awards like the Rhodes. So that means that they write a personal statement, they submit their resume, they get letters of recommendation from faculty members, and then we did it virtually this past year, but the plan for the in-person version this year is a reception at the President's House where they meet the selection committee, who are some are UTEP alumni, there's a couple of UTEP faculty and administrative leaders, but they are experts across the different sectors. So we have a British Consul General, who is part of our committee. We have the president of the Federal Reserve Bank. So we have all of these people that are there who have been in these students' shoes there to help them understand, what is this process like? How do you interview? How do you present yourself in a formal reception setting? And then the next day, they each have a half-hour interview in front of the committee, and then awards are announced later that evening. So it's a very exciting process. I know that the 11 finalists that we had this past year, what they took away from it was they now know that they can confidently go into their next scholarship interview or their next job interview or graduate school interview, being able to give a short, succinct summary of who they are, what they want to do, and why, why them, why should they be the ones chosen for the next opportunity. That in addition to practicing writing skills, which will help them as they apply to graduate school and for jobs. I'd like to go through a couple of awards, slides of awards here, just across the different fields to give you a sense of the portfolio that my office works with. For students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we have a number of awards that students can apply for as undergraduates and then also for graduate school. So for undergraduates, I'll take as an example, the Barry Goldwater Scholarship. It's a pipeline to the graduate fellowship, the NSF GRFP. This year, UTEP had 6 students win the NSF GRFP. So that's basically a fully funded graduate degree. And so the Goldwater Scholarship is for sophomores and juniors who want to go to grad school, who are already doing research. And so you can kind of get a sense that these opportunities at the undergraduate level build up to opportunities at the graduate level. The other award I want to point to here is Daad Rise. So this is a program run by the German government. This is one of the fellowships that is open to international students because they take students from all around the world to do summer research internships in Germany in industry. And this year, UTEP had 2 students who received this award. Next, we have a range of public service and international affairs scholarships. The main one here is Fulbright. My office is making a big push for Fulbright this year. There are over 2,200 Fulbright grants given out every year. And students apply for this award as a senior, and they can either go teach English overseas for a year, fully funded, so they get a living stipend, their housing is paid for, and they also have the opportunity to do either a small research project or a community engagement project, in addition to teaching English. So this year we had 2 Fulbright awardees, both teaching English. One is going to Argentina, the other is going to Brazil. And the exciting thing about that is that these are UTEP's first Fulbright awardees in 6 years. So we can see that all students need is that framework to write those essays, get feedback from faculty and from my office, and they go on to win these awards. Other programs that we've had success with, the Frederick Douglass Global Fellowship, that's for underrepresented students to study abroad. So it's a 3-week summer seminar where they go, this year they're going to Ireland, and it's fully paid for. So all of these programs have no application fee, and the experience is by and large fully paid for. So there might be some expense of maybe you have to pay for a taxi to the airport, plane tickets are going to be paid for, etc. The other award that UTEP has had a lot of success with is the Gilman Scholarship. So this year, the Study Abroad Office, which is where this scholarship is housed, they have secured over 14 Gilman Scholars of UTEP students. And so one of those was the alumni from my program as well. So we do partner very closely with both Study Abroad and also the graduate school to link up our efforts to prepare students for these opportunities. Finally, there is a set of awards that is open to students in all fields. 3 of these here are open to international students. Schwarzman Scholars, which is a fully funded master's degree in global affairs in China. The Gates Cambridge Scholarship, which is to pursue a graduate degree at Cambridge University in the UK. And then the Rhodes Scholarship is open to international students as well. These are nomination-only awards, so we work to identify students early in their career so that by the time they reach their senior year, we're working with them to prepare applications for these programs. And I think that was the end of my slideshow, but I did want to show you, is the website showing up here?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. So this is our website, and I just wanted to share a few things here. So this is our website, utep.edu/student fellowships, and students can come here. They can explore fellowship and scholarship opportunities, so they can look at some of these flagship programs that I showed you. So there's undergraduate and graduate awards. They can make an appointment to meet with me to discuss awards that they're interested in. They can also click here to meet with a writing coach. So if they're working on an essay, they can meet with one of our peer mentors. And then here, this is just mostly me celebrating the winners that we've had this year. So the Hawkins Scholarship, that was the UTEP Junior Scholarship. Last year was the first year, and so we had 2 awardees. One was from computer science and the other from English and American literature. So they'll receive $10,000 towards their undergraduate education to prepare them for graduate school. Here is our first Fulbright awardee, Eileen Duarte. She will study, or she will teach English in Argentina, and she'll leave in February. And here is the first set of this year's Gilman Scholars. So this was, I believe, the first 6 or 7. And so they received up to $5,000 towards study abroad. And then finally, here are our 6 NSF GRFP fellows for this year. 4 of them will be completing their master's or PhDs at UTEP, and then 2 are at other institutions, but applied while they were UTEP students. Okay, I think I've covered what I wanted to cover there, and I think we're getting closer to time. So I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Yes, at the moment, there's not any in the chat, but if you have any questions, definitely in the chat, or if you'd like to unmute yourself. Yeah, I was a student once, and I wish this was, you know, something that was available when I was an undergrad, because that's so awesome to be able to have just an office for fellowships of those. So I learned a lot. But I don't think if any, if I don't know if anyone has any questions for Melanie or for anyone else. I know something came up. If they are interested in applying for work study, how do we get started? Lisa, I don't know if you have an answer for that one.
Right, so the first step is completing the FAFSA application. It is a need-based award. So once we have the FAFSA on file, we will have to verify if they are eligible for work study. And if so, then they can go through JobMine to apply for a federal work study job.
Awesome, thank you. Great. We'll make sure that we also, if any of you have any questions, you can always email us as well at parents@utep.edu. And hopefully if there's any question directed for any one of our presenters, we'll definitely make sure to forward their information to you as well. Email, the website, you know, all these offices have great websites with a ton of information as well to get you started in whatever journey it is that you're going through. But it doesn't seem like anyone has any questions. So on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank our 3 presenters so much for taking your time out of a lovely Wednesday. It's finally getting sunny. It was a little cloudy here in El Paso for a while. And you have a great rest of your week and a great Memorial weekend. And we'll see you for our June session, which, before I forget, Jessica's reminding me, for those who are here, our June session is going to be on residence life and dining services. Since the world is starting to go back to normal a little, this is a great opportunity for any parents or students who are interested in maybe living on campus or forgot how dining services works on campus, since we haven't eaten on campus for the past year, what services there are. That will be for next month. But without further ado, thank you all so much, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.